I remember my girlfriend's mom ends up walking up to me and she says, Baba, I have a question. You're really into like all this social media stuff. I was wondering if you could help me out with something. Yeah, sure. Anything for my girlfriend's mom is what I told her. And then one thing led to another. We ended up going into her bedroom and she started taking off her clothing. And I am not joking. I started to realize that she wanted to collab. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to another really embarrassing and I gotta say crazy story. Now, this story all takes place back when I was 18 years old. So I was 18 doing my own thing. And to be honest, this was around the time when I started basically streaming and becoming a content creator that you guys all love and know. Well, I mean, hopefully love. I don't know how many of you guys actually love the channel, but going on with the story, I remember around this time, I ended up basically meeting a girl online that I thought was really attractive. I remember I ended up meeting this girl like through a dating app, and me and her, we'd always message each other back to back. And then it got to a point where she found out I was a streamer. So I remember every time I would live stream or basically, you know, post anything on the internet, she would always be there to basically like, I guess, comment under it and chat in my stream chat. And it was really weird, but at the same time, she was being a really good supportive person, to the point where I remember me and her, we one time decided to meet up. And when we actually met up, she actually ended up being a great person. Me and her, we got along really well, and her knowledge of the internet was like basically little to nothing. I guess she wasn't a big fan of doing anything on the internet, but she always found it really cool how I was an internet person. But then one thing led to another. I remember we ended up sitting down and she told me about like her home life and stuff, and how her parents are like really into like this whole internet thing, but how she grew up never really wanting to be a part of it until she met me. And I found it cool and stuff how, you know, me and her, we got along really well. But then she ended up telling me, honestly, I never like really liked this whole internet stuff, but my mom is like really getting into it. And like, I don't know, she's starting like this new business. I don't really know what it is, but she's always in her room. Oh, that's cool. Does she like make content, or like does she make like videos and stuff? Well, I mean, it sounds like she's making videos. I'm not really sure, and she won't tell me her social medias. At that moment, I found it kind of weird because like, what would a mom have to hide and post on the internet? But at the same time, I didn't think too much of it until the day came where everything got super weird. Because I want to say like a month went by and I was like basically full on dating this girl. Like, me and this girl would always go on dates. My family knew about her, but to be honest, her family has only heard of me and seen me through the internet. I never actually ended up meeting her family, and I guess like, I don't know, in a way she was kind of embarrassed for me to meet her family. I don't know if it was because of me or because of her family, but it was like one of those situations where she did not want me to meet her family. Until one day, I remember me and her were out on a date and we were just basically eating dinner together at a restaurant, and she looks at me and says, so Baba, my mom wants me to invite you to like family dinner. It's happening tomorrow night. If you can't make it, it's totally fine, but like, I don't know, my mom just wants to like meet you. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm down to meet your family. Why not? We've been dating for already like more than a month is what I told her. And she ended up looking at me and she's like kind of like excited and stuff, but at the same time, I could see in her eyes she was kind of worried about something. Now, I didn't know what, and I kept like kind of like, you know, trying to like push into her and kind of like figure out what was wrong. But every time I would ask about her family, she'd just be like, oh, like, you know what, we can just save all those questions for tomorrow, okay? Like, let's just enjoy dinner. So at that moment, I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. And me and her, we ended up eating dinner and we ended up going back to my place and we did the Devil's Tango. I remember the next morning, me and her woke up in the same bed, and basically I ended up driving her back to her place so she could get ready for family dinner that night. But as I was dropping her off that morning, I ended up looking up and I saw one of the windows was left open, and all I saw through that window was literally her mom getting dressed and wearing some very spicy outfits. I'm not gonna say what it was, but she was wearing something really spicy to the point where, I'm not gonna lie, I found it insane how she just decided to leave her window open like that, as if the whole world wanted to see it. I ended up looking at my girlfriend saying, yo, babe, I'm not gonna lie, I think your mom needs to close the window. Wait, what? What do you mean? And when she looked up and she saw that the window was left wide open and her mom was just doing all that stuff like in the open, she started to freak out and she got out of my car and yelled at her mom through the window saying, Mom, close the damn window. What are you doing? My boyfriend's literally outside. And instead of closing the window, I remember she ended up walking up towards the window wearing basically like, you know, some spicy outfit, and she starts waving at me saying, oh, hi, can't wait to see you tonight for family dinner. Like, bruh, what in the world was going on? At this moment, I was just sitting in that car thinking, bro, what is gonna happen when I go to this dinner? And trust me when I say this, guys, what ended up happening at family dinner was insane. Because I remember when I got back home, I got dressed for this family dinner, and don't get me wrong, I was super nervous, but honestly, I thought, you know what, this might be the best opportunity to get to know my girlfriend, her family more. So I dressed up nicely and I finally went over to her place, and when I parked my car, instantly my girlfriend comes out of her house and says, okay, Bubba, you gotta understand, my family is like really obsessed with like the internet and stuff, so whatever you do, just don't tell them exactly exactly what you do, okay? Just say like you're like an editor or something. At that moment, I said sure, and obviously I didn't want to be weird towards my girlfriend and her family, so I decided to keep it low-key about what I did for work. And when I went inside of her house, instantly I got greeted by her brother and by her little sister, and both of them looked at me saying, "Oh, hi, you must be dating my sister." Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. And I started shaking everyone's hand until I finally met her mom. Now, her mom came downstairs and she looked at me with like a smirk on her face saying, "Oh, hi, you must be dating my daughter." Yeah, I've been dating her for a while. Nice to meet you. And then I remember as she was shaking my hand, she kind of like squeezed it in a way as if she wanted to like, you know, I guess like give me like some sort of signal. I don't really know what it was, but I felt really off-putting about it. And when we all went towards the dinner table, I remember we all sat down together and I realized that there was no dad anywhere, meaning that I did not get to see her dad whatsoever. So I looked over at the mom and said, I guess there's a spot missing at the table. Is he gonna arrive anytime soon? Baba, who's gonna arrive? I guess your dad? I don't really know. At that moment, everyone just starts looking at me awkwardly. And then afterwards, her mom ends up saying, "Oh, yeah, no, me and him recently divorced." I didn't know that. Sorry, is what I said, because I didn't want to make things awkward. But then that's when the mom ended up telling me, "Yeah, no, he didn't like my new line of work. So I guess like, you know, me and him, we decided to just end things off." Oh, okay. Now at that moment, I was really weirded out because from what my girlfriend told me, she worked at home on the internet. But for a marriage to be destroyed over a job, like how bad is this job gonna be? Until I figured out what it was, because I remember after dinner, it was super awkward and we all ended up sitting down in the living room together. And then that's when the mom ended up saying to me, "So Baba, my daughter tells me you do like internet social media stuff. Is that true?" Well, to be honest, I'm just a photographer and just editor, I guess. I don't really film myself personally. And at that moment, my girlfriend kind of gives me like a hidden thumbs up. And then afterwards, her mom ends up saying, "Oh, well, I actually need some help upstairs with something. Something's just really off with my camera. I was hoping you can come upstairs and help me out." Yeah, sure. I can take a quick look at it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm no camera wizard. I don't know why I said photography. I just thought it sounded cooler to say editor and photographer, just so it makes sense that I make money. But honestly, when I went upstairs with her mom and we went into the bedroom, I realized that there was a tripod pointed at the bed, and she told me, "Yeah, so Baba, can you take like a couple shots of me? I need to get like into position." And at that moment, she ended up basically wearing a really spicy outfit under her original outfit, gets on the bed, and she starts posing in the most weirdest way possible. And I'm just looking around thinking, bro, is my girlfriend gonna walk in on me doing this? Like, this has got to be weird. And at that moment, I started to realize that my girlfriend's mom, for a job that was supposedly supposed to be on the internet, did OnlyFans. She recorded OnlyFans content. Like, no wonder she got a divorce. But I remember as she was in position, I started to like basically take photos, and then she ends up saying, "Oh, Baba, if you want, can you press that record button and just come join me?" Wait, what? At that moment, I had the most blank stare on my face, and I look at her, and then she says right after, "Yeah, like you don't mind doing a little collab, right, Baba?" In that moment, I'm not joking, I pulled out my phone. I instantly texted my girlfriend like, "Yo, your mom's trying to collab." And she sends me just a bunch of question marks back saying, What do you mean collab?" And she comes upstairs, walks into her mom's room. Instantly, she says, "Mom, what are you doing? It's my boyfriend." "Oh, I know, honey. It'll fit the genre." What genre? Like at this moment, I was so like weirded out, and my girlfriend was super weirded out. And honestly, like my girlfriend ended up grabbing me by my hand and pulling me downstairs and took me outside saying, "Baba, I'm so sorry. This is so weird for me. Like I did not expect this to happen." "No, it's okay, babe. Like I just didn't expect it either, to be honest." And I'm not gonna lie, after that whole situation, like I want to say a month went by and me and her actually ended up breaking up. And to be honest, she even started her own OnlyFans. In a way, I guess, you know, people just change for the worse when they see the internet. But I mean, hey, would you guys date an OnlyFans girl and collab with a mom? If so, fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.